Agni means gut digestive fire. And so this fire, I imagine it to be like a campfire in the center of your body. And you take that campfire and every morning you ignite it. So imagine if you were building a healthy campfire, you'd use small, medium, and large branches. You'd put it together with a lot of intention so it would be strong, healthy, and robust, and could cook your food for you while you're out camping. So in the same way, we need to invest in all the elements of a healthy gut. Maybe that's a variety of probiotics, prebiotic-rich foods, eating foods that suit us. Don't eat too late. Eat within a time window. Intermittent fasting will give that campfire a break so that you can then focus on rejuvenation of the body overnight.
If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. It's a little red button. You punch that, and it's going to notify you every time we put out a new episode that can help you improve your bone health. And then also, if you haven't done so already, head over to BoneCoach.com, sign up for the free 7-day Osteoporosis Kickstart. That's going to walk you through everything you need to be doing right now to get on the path to improvement and stronger bones. After you do those two things, go ahead and press play on this episode, and I'll see you inside. Welcome to this episode of the BoneCoach Show. Joining us today to explore Ayurveda, turmeric, and bone health is Dr. Shivani Gupta. Dr. Shivani Gupta is a renowned leader in the health and wellness industry. She's here to share Ayurveda with the world with a Western twist, teaching doshas, circadian rhythm, sleep optimization, igniting the digestive fire, and gently detoxing so we can all win at our health. Celebrated for her visionary approach to bridging the gap between ancient Ayurvedic wisdom and modern medical practices, her groundbreaking work has revolutionized the way people approach their health, with her innovative formulations and unwavering commitment to excellence, setting new standards for natural healing and holistic well-being. Growing up, she battled chronic illness due to a weak immune system. After discovering her family's history of diabetes was impacting her health, she found Ayurveda, which transformed her life. After studying with Ayurvedic gurus in India and receiving a master's in Ayurvedic sciences, as well as a PhD in turmeric, Dr. Gupta realized that a fusionary formula was the secret to health. She's a pioneer in paving the way for Ayurvedic formulas to be the standard of care in doctors' offices. She is pushing the envelope to publish more science on Ayurveda, turmeric, and circadian rhythm. Dr. Shivani Gupta, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I am looking forward to this conversation. It's really fascinating. You have a PhD in turmeric.
I do.
Let's talk about how this became such a passion of yours and why you went that route.
Well, I grew up with this weak immune system. I grew up where I'd get car sick, air sick, and seasick, and then anyone who walked by and sneezed, I'd catch whatever they had as well. And so as I traveled to India every year with my parents, and I'd get disastrously sick, no one else around me was ever sick. I was just the one who was always left behind. And I kept thinking, all right, what am I going to do about this? Like eventually, if I want to succeed, I have to build a robust system that actually works. And I simultaneously grew up in a family of all diabetics. And so growing up traveling to India, everyone would have cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart attack, quadruple bypass. And I also kept thinking, we are not right in this model of longevity. Something is going wrong here. And so it put me on this path to really researching health. And when I discovered Ayurveda, I was like, whoa, there's an entire system of health and healing in India. It's over 5,000 years old, and it teaches us all about gut health, circadian rhythm, detoxification, our mind-body constitution, nutrition that's actually going to build the building blocks of what we need in our body. And Ayurveda completely transformed my life. So I became so passionate about it, I began studying it. And when I was in herbology class, one of the spices we learned about was turmeric. And turmeric seemed to do it all. So when we go to superfoods like blueberries and salmon and people talk about superfoods, I sat there and I thought, these are super spices. Like they're powerhouses unto themselves. I wonder if we use them and studied them further, if we could really find an application for them in Western medicine. And then whenever we hurt ourselves or are in pain, which I was doing a lot back then, we have a natural solution without side effects. And so that led me to studying turmeric for years, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I love explaining all the benefits of it.
Well, please, let's actually talk about that for a second. What is turmeric? And then what are some of the components within it that may have these healthy, beneficial effects for us?
Sure. So turmeric is a rhizome. It's this plant. It's a sister plant to ginger. And most people take turmeric as a spice and they sprinkle it on their food, they sprinkle it on their chicken. The thing is, in ancient India, we didn't really use the fresh form of turmeric. It's not that bioavailable. People would take it and dry it into the spice form because that would make it a lot more potent. And then when we cook with it, we always cooked with a healthy fat or black pepper. So in the Indian kitchen, you're going to use ghee or you're going to use garam masala. That's always going to have black pepper in it, which will always increase that absorption of the turmeric. So it's interesting that even in ancient times, they had the wisdom and the intuition to know what helped them absorb it. And then out of all of the turmeric, only 3% is the curcuminoids. And of that 3%, curcumin is the most effective at reducing inflammation. So nowadays, in modern day times, we're much more inflamed than they were back then. We've got so many environmental toxins, stress, outside factors, inflammatory foods, things causing inflammation. And so I believe it's important to take the extract form to drive a therapeutic result when we talk about reducing inflammation. And so when it comes to the turmeric supplements out there, a lot of them are just giving you regular turmeric powder, or they're not giving you the right proportion of those curcuminoids. So what I love about turmeric most is it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-candida, anti-H. pylori. It's a very powerful anti-inflammatory. So if you're taking painkillers every day, we know that those have side effects and negative effects on the body. We're not meant to take them every day. So I love that this is a natural painkiller for a lot of people with chronic joint pain. It's also a powerful antioxidant, and it goes after the things that are causing oxidation. So the fact that it's undoing oxidation means like that rust, that aging, where we feel tired and we feel stiff and we feel all that joint pain, it's reversing it. And then what's also cool is turmeric is such a powerful anti-aging element as well. So it goes after AMPK pathways, sirtuins. There's a lot of things in our body that slow down as we age. And for example, zombie cells form in our body and we're supposed to be able to clear them, but we don't as we age. And so turmeric gets in there and kicks them all out so that we're functioning better. So to me, turmeric's like that jack of all trades, Swiss knife, like Swiss Army knife, that I can use to kind of support my immune system, be healthy, be vibrant, but also invest in my anti-aging over time.
And for those of us listening, because our audience is primarily interested in improving their bones, building stronger bones, they've got osteoporosis, osteopenia. For those of you listening, curcumin has benefits for bone health as well. It can help boosting bone formation, reducing bone loss, improving that pain and the function associated with osteoarthritis, just like the inflammation that Dr. Shivani was just talking about. Inflammation can work its way against the cartilage. It can do damage to the bones. So anything that's helping work against those things can be really beneficial. So I'm a big proponent of curcumin as well. So let's talk about Ayurveda and maybe help people understand what is Ayurveda and how can that help us in this path to living a longer, more active life.
Sure. So most people have never heard of Ayurveda. Ayurveda, it's like a completely new word to them. Ayurveda means the science of life. It's this ancient system of India. So just like we have acupuncture from traditional Chinese medicine, in India, we had this entire system. And it's really a way of life. It's a way to bring body, mind, and spirit into alignment. So that's why we talk about so many different areas, how to eat, when to eat. We teach so much about circadian rhythm. So really, it's a rhythm that you build into your life every single day, understanding when to eat, how to eat, and all those different things. One of my favorite aspects of Ayurveda is the circadian rhythm. I think if we can build this beautiful rhythm in our day where we're going with the flow of nature, then we can suddenly build ease with our health. A lot of times we're going against circadian rhythm, and that's why we're battling and going kind of upstream, fighting against nature. So one example is just sleeping on time. And we know when it comes to bone health, melatonin will support better bone health if we're sleeping on time at night. On the circadian clock, we teach that 10 to 2 is the best window to fall asleep because 10 o'clock is when you have a melatonin release. So if you're sleeping from 10 to 2, you're going to use that time to clear inflammation, clear the lymphatic system, and support better sleep. But so many of us push into that 10 o'clock. Push towards 11, 11:30. If we get on our phones or on social, we're staying up later and later. And so if you can build this new habit of just sleeping by 10, all of a sudden there'll be a huge shift when it comes to inflammation, lymphatics, and overall vibrant health. In Ayurveda, our goal is to show you how to build a healthy gut digestive fire, how to build healthy digestion so that the byproduct of that, which is called ojas, is something that you receive that helps you build that vitality. So when we talk about healthier bones, healthier joints, healthier skin, healthier vitality, all of that's a byproduct of really robust, healthy digestion. And all of these things are interlinked. So sleeping well will give you better digestion, which will give you that vitality, which will then help you build the stronger bones and everything else you want. But it all starts with really beautiful, healthy sleep.
Hey, it's Bone Coach Kevin Ellis. I want to take one more minute to talk about if you are somebody who was newly diagnosed with osteopenia or osteoporosis, and you're at a point where you're stressed, you're worried, you're overwhelmed, you have no idea where to start or how to get started getting confident in your plan. I want to tell you about the Stronger Bone Solution Program. Over 5,000 people have come through this Stronger Bone Solution Program, and it walks you through the exact process you need to fill in the missing pieces, uncover critical things in your plan that you may not be aware of, and help you make modifications, adjustments, and tweaks to get you to the place where you're building stronger bones. I want you to get confident in your plan so that you can focus on living life and enjoying the life that you deserve with the people you love most. So if that's where you want to be, head over to bonecoach.com/apply and apply for our Stronger Bone Solution Program right now. I'm Bone Coach Kevin Ellis. I want to see you inside this program. I want to help you get on the path to improvement and stronger bones. Hope to see you inside very soon. Let's get back to the episode. And you touched on digestion there. Maybe talk about Ayurveda and gut health as well.
Sure. So in Ayurveda, we have a concept called Agni. Agni means gut digestive fire. And so this fire, I imagine it to be like a campfire in the center of your body. And you take that campfire and every morning you ignite it. So imagine if you were building a healthy campfire, you'd use small, medium, and large branches. You'd put it together with a lot of intention so it would be strong, healthy, and robust and could cook your food for you while you're out camping. So in the same way, we need to invest in all the elements of a healthy gut. Maybe that's a variety of probiotics, prebiotic-rich foods, eating foods that suit us. Don't eat too late. Eat within a time window. So even Ayurveda taught intermittent fasting, 7 to 7 on the clock. Finish dinner by 7 and don't eat before 7 in the morning the next day. Intermittent fasting will give that campfire a break so that you can then focus on rejuvenation of the body overnight. Another example is when you have that campfire, we're not meant to snack and eat all day. We're meant to eat our 2 or 3 square meals, and that's it. Just use the campfire, let it release its digestive enzymes and everything, really digest that meal properly, and then give the campfire a rest before you use it again. And another Ayurveda hack or tip that I always recommend is don't drink water anywhere near your meals. So a way to honor that fire is don't throw water on it or ice water on it. So many of us get to a restaurant, they're like, here's your ice water, and we just start sipping it, not realizing that we're turning off the gut digestive fire. So instead, you can say, you know what, no thank you, can I have room temperature water, or ask for hot water with lemon. And that way you're stoking the fire. You're getting the fire ready for that meal to come and supporting it. So you're going to digest all the nutrients, receive all the benefits, get those building blocks in. Because when it comes to bone health, joint health, all the health that we want, gut health, you need to absorb and assimilate all of the nutrition that comes in from the foods that you're going to eat, especially nowadays where we have less minerals, less nutrients, less resources in our food. So we have to support the fire, but then also give the fire what it needs to give us what we need.
And you talked about turmeric. Are there other herbs and spices in Ayurveda that you really like that can help support our health and longevity?
Absolutely. I have so many. I love ginger.
Let's go through them. I love ginger too.
Yeah, ginger's wonderful. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's gastroprotective. It's anti-nausea. You could have ginger lemon tea every single morning as like your simple investment in igniting your digestive fire, getting that metabolism churning and burning and ready for the day. The ginger lemon tea is so beneficial. It's also detoxing. It's also alkalizing. So it can do so much for you. And you can cut up ginger and put it in your food as well. When someone has low digestive fire and low vitality, we recommend eating a little bit of ginger right before every meal. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, you can add in chewing a little bit of ginger, and that'll start to kind of bring in those gastric juices and gastric fire again. Another big favorite I have is cumin seeds. So we use cumin seeds at the base of our cooking anytime we're going to cook lentils or beans. Anytime I eat beans that are not inside of my house or an Indian household, I'm like, how are you guys eating this? It won't digest well. At least you bloated and in pain. It happened to me this weekend. I was like, what? Oh, I forgot. Like, not everyone knows cumin and another spice we have called hing or asafoetida are both very powerful at supporting the digestive system in digesting anything that's hard to digest. So, for example, beans, lentils, sometimes certain vegetables are even hard to digest. And so we heat up some oil or ghee and we put those two spices in there. And then we start the cooking process. And that helps us digest those foods. We're also big fans of coriander, cilantro. Cilantro is a heavy metal detoxer. So all the heavy metals we tend to accumulate that cause a toxic burden in our system, just incorporating cilantro will have a cooling effect and will remove those from your life. We incorporate black pepper and red pepper into a lot of things, and we know that those help with the absorption of those other spices. So I love incorporating those as well and remembering those. Another favorite that you wouldn't use in the kitchen necessarily, but it is an herb spice type ingredient, is ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is a powerful adaptogen from Ayurveda. It's neuroprotective, supports neurocognition. It gives you a lot of strength and vitality. Ashwagandha means the horse's mane, like it's like the strength of 100 horses. So that ingredient itself can give you so much vitality, strength. And because it's an adaptogen, if you're stressed and anxious, it'll calm you down a few notches. And if you're depressed and feeling low, it'll lift you up. I love playing in the sandbox of Ayurveda's adaptogens because nowadays we know in modern day times, we're super stressed out. We've got too much going on. We've got our businesses, our families, our home, like all the responsibilities. So I myself find that I need ashwagandha and adaptogens on board just to stay cool, calm, collected, and focused throughout my day.
I love that. And some of any other pieces around Ayurveda that you think are important that we haven't touched on yet?
Yeah, I mean, gut health is definitely a key piece of what we teach. We want everyone to build this gut digestive fire that works. Circadian rhythm is a concept from Ayurveda, and I love that in the wellness world, we're talking so much about circadian rhythm because that's just an indication of how we're finally getting that sleep is that bedrock of really great health. And to me, I love sleep because it's the easiest health habit. It's not requiring me to go to the gym and lift. It's not requiring me to eat some salad that I might not want to eat today. It's just sleeping. But I think we take sleep for granted. We assume, like most people I meet say, I sleep fine. And I'm like, fine, measure your sleep and then talk to me about sleep. Because if you don't measure it, you have no idea. And so a lot of people will send me their sleep data. And I'm like, see, you're waking up every day at 2. You're waking up every day at 4. Your sleep score is trash. Like, let's fix this. And so I'm very obsessed with like, what is each element you can do to fix sleep? Can you eat dinner earlier? Cut off dinner by 7. By 8 o'clock, can you transition to finishing work and putting that away? I know that's hard, but can you do that? By 9, can you wrap up your house and responsibilities? So that 9 to 10 is spent doing self-care. We have these rituals in Ayurveda called dinacharya, or the daily self-care rituals. And those rituals that you do each day support detoxification. They support the gut digestive fire working better. They support our brain health, our mood. They support us being in our parasympathetic nervous system and not in sympathetic. Because if we're in rest and digest, then that gut digestive fire can give us what we need. If we're always in fight or flight, gut digestive fire is useless. We're never going to use it to really assimilate and absorb what we need. And so when it comes to bone health, I was thinking about it before this episode, and I thought, gosh, why is it that we have such poor bone health? And it's not until we break something that we realize how poor our bone health is. Well, probably because it's an invisible problem. And like so many things, we're just not paying attention to our total digestion and absorption. We're not getting our minerals. We're not getting our nutrition. So that focus on gut digestive fire and sleep can be those two key pieces from Ayurveda that we use to get there. And I saw that turmeric can increase our bone density by 7%, which I was like, whoa, okay. So bring in the super spices, fix the gut digestion, improve sleep, and all of a sudden you've got a beautiful stack that will support you in building that bone health for longevity.
And is there anything else you want the world to know about turmeric? Because you got a PhD in it, and there are That's probably more education around turmeric than most people have. So you're the right person to talk about this. So anything else that you want to talk about turmeric?
Sure. So, what's so cool about turmeric is the science on turmeric is exploding right now. And I very much believe that's due to the anti-inflammatory properties. We know that inflammation is a root cause of so many diseases. Any itis in the body is inflammation. So much of what we're seeing with heart disease, obesity, diabetes, so many of the metabolic diseases based on inflammation. And so it's really fascinating because when I was doing my PhD dissertation, I had a whole section on osteoarthritis. So the level of double-blind placebo-controlled trials on curcumin versus NSAIDs and painkillers is so promising. I mean, we know without a doubt that you can take curcumin instead of painkillers and you're going to get an equal effect in the body. They're equal. And then in addition, you won't have the adverse effects of putting NSAIDs in the body chronically. And that's true against some prescription NSAIDs as well. So I love showing people, look, if you have chronic joint pain, you're going to take something for the pain. What if you took this, reduce the systemic inflammation, you reduce and reverse oxidation, and come off that other stuff sooner? And this can hold you pain-free. So when it comes to rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis, I'm very passionate about it. Then we get into all the autoimmune conditions. So that's actually an area I want to study further in the future. People who have Sjogren's, Lyme disease. The more I step into health and wellness, the more people are coming to me with their issues. And that chronic joint pain that moves around and drives people nuts, we should be using turmeric for that. So there's more and more study on that. We've also seen that it's so powerful for heart disease. It's anti-obesity. Like I mentioned, the zombie cells. The zombie cells is just one example of aging. But I recently spoke at A4M at this longevity conference. So I sat for months and just read through the science to keep pulling what I would explain to that room of doctors. And every single cell in the body is going to age and slow down, which I found very upsetting. I was like, what? I thought we could just skip aging and bypass it completely. But as I read it, I was like, okay, so as the body slows down, there's only a couple different ways to start to reverse out of that process. Addressing oxidation, addressing those pathways of aging. Even turmeric is known to extend telomeres. So it's to me that one solution that covers so much that I love it. And the fact that it's so immune modulating and immune supportive, I think will be studied even further going into the future. But again, my PSA to everyone is when you're going to take turmeric or the extract curcumin, make sure you take it with a healthy fat or black pepper. I worked in a lab at MD Anderson Cancer Center as a teenager, where they were the ones who discovered that it's curcumin with black pepper that increases the absorption 2,000%. And then now we also know that it's very good with healthy fats. So either or both is like a great combination to give yourself. And just add it into your life. I think so many people are sprinkling it on their chicken in the morning or in the evenings. They're juicing it. I think when we want that therapeutic dose, it's so important that we look at what are we taking, what's on the label, what's the quality of that supplement. There's so many supplements out there, like I mentioned, that just take regular turmeric and stuff it in a pill. And you could have bought regular turmeric at the store. So curcuma longa is the plant name. That doesn't mean curcuminoids or curcumin. So make sure you're reading your labels and you're really investing in good quality from practitioners who are really passionate about giving you the best of the best.
Hey, it's Bone Coach Kevin Ellis. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Bone Coach Show. If you're finding it helpful, please leave a positive rating and review. Hit that like button, subscribe to the podcast or the channel. That lets us help more people and reach and serve more people. And it also lets us know that this is helpful to you on your journey to better health and stronger bones. And then also, right down in the show notes, you can actually find a link to my free Bone Healthy Recipes Guide. That's going to give you access to some amazing and delicious recipes to support your journey to stronger bones. And then also, we have a link to my free Stronger Bones Masterclass in the show notes too. And that is the 3-step process that has helped people in over 1,500 cities around the world get confident in their plan for stronger bones. Over 110,000 people have taken part in this, and it's been really, really helpful for them. And I want you to have free access to it too. So add your name and email right down there in the show notes, get access to that free Stronger Bones Masterclass, and let's get you confident in your Stronger Bones plan today. I so agree with that. And before we get to the supplement piece of it, let's talk about the person who's trying to incorporate this into their cooking and they're trying to look for the spices. Are heavy metals a concern with the spices too? And if they are, how do we work around that?
That's a great question. Heavy metals are an issue in spices, and in so many of our foods nowadays as well. So I buy organic turmeric, and that's my way to make sure that we're sourcing better for that. When it comes to supplements, we end up testing for that and making sure we're clear. But yes, when it comes to spices, you do have to watch out, and I would just buy organic to be safe.
Yeah. And there are multiple companies that do that. If you go look up organic spices, you can find those companies. Now let's talk about the supplement side, because you created a company called Fusionary Formulas, and maybe share a little bit about that company.
Sure. So about 10 years ago, when I finished the PhD, every time someone came to me with a problem, I would say, turmeric can fix that. And so finally, my family said, if you're going to say that till you die, could you please just make your own? Like, let's see what's possible here. And so I created it purely for orthopedics. That was my dream, is orthopedic medicine. Whenever I go and I've got my knee pain or my plantar fasciitis, they were telling me just take NSAIDs for 10 days. And I would listen. And then I'd get these horrible stomach aches. And I couldn't understand, like, I took something to help myself, but now I've got stomach aches every time I eat food. That's not fair. I didn't want the side effect. I just wanted the solution. And that's what turned on the light bulb for me. And I thought, okay, well, what if you gave orthopedic medicine a solution for chronic joint pain that actually got to the root cause? That would be really cool. And so I developed my formula about 10 years ago, and I built it, made in the United States, third-party tested. I'm very deliberate about how I source it, where it comes from, how much testing we've done, specifically so that all of Western medicine can trust it. So it's carried by orthopedics, rheumatology, functional medicine, chiropractic, and then now it's on our website for everybody. But it's just been a passion of mine to keep publishing science on this is what it can do for you. And then each system of medicine will trust it more. Like the British Medical Journal just published a study that said curcumin is as effective as PPIs. So that means all of the GI world can kind of look at it now as a adjunct solution for what they do.
As somebody who personally, this was many years ago, but I had taken one point when I had a lot of back pain, knee pain and stuff. I used to take 800 milligram ibuprofen 3 times a day for years. And the same thing with PPIs. And curcumin was actually one of the tools that helped me move away from that. So that was a long time ago, but now it's a daily part of my routine. I absolutely love it. And I definitely recommend you giving it a try and making sure you try to incorporate it, whether it's through spices, but also through supplementation is important. So now I want to make sure we let people know where they can find you as well. So if we want to point that out too.
Okay. So my website is shivanigupta.com, ShivanIGupta. And then on there, I have my supplement company, Fusionary Formulas, and we made a special code for your audience. BoneCoach will give them 15% off. And on my website, you'll find my podcast, my inflammation guide, my 7-day inflammation challenge, a cookbook, and so many more resources to help you on your health journey.
Thank you so much for taking the time to share your knowledge and expertise. This was fascinating. I love turmeric. I love curcumin, and you are a whole host of whole lot of knowledge around just that topic. So thank you so much for sharing that, and about your knowledge about Ayurveda too.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Well, for everybody listening, you can find all the resources, show notes, everything mentioned here today over at bonecoach.com, and we'll link to that right down below. So we'll see you in the next episode. Hey, it's Bone Coach Kevin Ellis. Hope you found that episode helpful and that you enjoyed it. Just one last reminder, if you haven't done so already, head over to bonecoach.com, sign up for your free 7-day osteoporosis kickstart. It's going to tell you everything you need to do to start getting on the path to improvement. Hope you found this helpful. I'm your Bone Coach Kevin Ellis. I'll see you soon.